Welcome back. Well, if you are looking really for the best pizza oven in the world, look no further than Forno Bravo. I'm here with Tim Cole, and Tim, I tell you what, I've had a couple of bodies up here today. I've had Leo and Peter telling me that not all pizza ovens are created equal. Very passionate about yours because you really have put some science into it. Tell us a little bit about your company.
Well, our products are real simple. We use commercial grade refractory in all our ovens, whether it's a commercial oven or a residential oven. And what that typically means is that they're going to be strong. The domes are going to hold up for a very long time. They're going to be able to achieve a lot of thermal mass. So think of thermal mass like a battery, okay? If you charge a battery, you can get more food out of it. The thicker the dome, the bigger the battery, the more food you can get out of it before you got to recharge the battery. So we have a broad range of products that will allow like a small, thinner dome with fast heat up times, but good heat retention, all the way up to a monster like this one, where you can get 200, 280 pizzas out of it in an hour. And the commercial grade refractory, we use polyfibers that basically bond the concrete mixture together so that when it expands and contracts, it has that mesh inside that holds it together from a construction point of view. The other aspect of it is we combine that with an alumina silica that's a shock inhibitor that basically allows the oven to go from a 60-degree temperature to a 1,000-degree temperature and then cool down and expand and contract and breathe without compromising the structure. And that's really the science behind it. So unlike a lot of our competitors that are importing ovens or buying like a premix, we control everything down to the granular level in our factory in Salinas, California. So it's truly made in the USA.
Made in the USA, a lot of science behind it, and up at the top you have a keystone that's holding these huge stone slabs in place, and just the thought of that makes me feel that we're kind of going back in time here. An oven that's going to hold our heat, cook more evenly, and something we can really rely upon.
Well, this technology goes back thousands of years to like the ancient Egyptian community bread ovens. Where people would come in, they would cook for the local lord, and then families would come in and they would bake their bread for their families, and then they would give a certain tithe that, for the use of the community oven, that would go up, and they would run these things nonstop. In Naples, in Italy, a few thousand years later, they came up with what we refer to here as a Naples-style venting center vent system, which operates a lot like a wood stove in your home that heats water and reuses the heat. We take the heat out of the oven, we trap it above the dome, and it uses that energy to keep the thermal mass in place so that you can cook longer. So this oven could be 600, 700 degrees tomorrow, even if you shut it down tonight at 11 o'clock.
It's interesting that you put your hand on the side of it because this has been cooking pizzas all day long, and the outside is still very cool, so that's a testament to the insulation that's going on there. You're keeping that heat in instead of letting it out and costing us dollars.
Absolutely, absolutely. Typically speaking, when you're talking about a Naples-style vent, you'll save a few percentage points on fuel a month. With the front vent, which we also sell, which is a true front vent, because they're all vented out the front. When you're using that versus a Naples-style vent, it's like bread makers versus pizza makers. Bread makers like a much more even temperature throughout the oven, nice even spread so that the bread is all baking evenly. Pizza makers, they can work around that because they're moving from hot to cold spots, and they're baking something in 90 seconds, whereas a bread baker is baking something at much lower temperatures at, say, 500 degrees. So at 500 degrees, you want that nice even temperature. When you're baking bread or pizza in 90 seconds, every time you take it off, you got a cool spot, you want it to recharge, you move somewhere else. And that's where that thermal mass and that recovery time really comes into play.
Well, I noticed Leo was really working those spots today when we watched him. He had a cool spot or a hot spot, depending on what kind of pizza he was cooking in here. And he cooked like a dozen pizzas today that we saw. So there are, really advantages to this system set up to make it a success, no matter what kind of pizzas we set out to make.
Yeah, but it's not just pizza. I mean, from a commercial point of view, fast casual versus artisan pizzeria, etc. This is an artisan pizzeria piece of equipment. You can do fast casual, but you can do anything you want on the menu. You can do bread, you can do pizza, you can do stromboli, you can do calzone, you can do clams, you can do grits, you can do anything. Some of the best chefs in the world, when they create their menus, they're doing everything in this oven. Because faster cook times mean you're not baking out the nutrition in the food, and you're not baking the taste out of the food. And that's why these higher temperature ovens that can cook in that 6, 7, 8, 9, 100, 1,000 degrees and sustain that, gives you a lot of flexibility on your menu and your taste and that artisanship that keeps people coming back.
Well, Tim, with that said right now, I know you have to have the attention. All of our viewers out there wanting to be able to get the right oven into their establishment, what's the best way for them to learn more about Forno Bravo?
Well, the best way to learn more about Forno Bravo is just to go to fornobravo.com. And we have huge sections of the website that are dedicated to people educating themselves. We have a whole section on how to build your own pizza oven. We have a whole section with Pizza Quest with Peter Reinhardt with incredible webisodes and recipes and blogs and interviews with industry giants. We also have a whole community cookbook which has hundreds of recipes that are available to everybody, provided by our celebrity chef panel, as well as laymen that put in recipes during our pizza, our recipe contests and stuff like that. We also have a forum with 26,000 plus registered users that talk about the art of brick oven building and brick oven cooking. And all this is free content that's available on the website. And you just email us any questions you have, and we're going to educate you about the technology. We're going to talk technology. We're not going to talk competitors. We're going to talk to you about technique. We're not going to talk to you about, oh, you got to get ours because of this.
Right.
We're going to sit there and say, this is what it can do. This is what it can't do. Everything about fornobravo.com is about educating you, so you're making the best decision for your restaurant or your family, for your home oven or your pizza catering business or whatever you want, because it's an investment, but it's an investment that'll last a lifetime.
Tim, I am very impressed. Appreciate you being on.
Thank you.